All right, we are in COVID time, so unfortunately we had to wear a mask. But I think for our episode 10, it's better to work without mask. Welcome everybody again from Curaçao, and you're talking with Thierry. Today we had a slight change of program because indeed we are in a lockdown here in Curaçao. We cannot go out every day of the week, only 2 times with a number plate of your car, and that's it. So that's still the 6th of April. So a change of program, and my intro is a bit longer, but I'm making a pleasure to some of our subscribers who asked to tell more about how we came here on Curaçao, what you have to do, things, pros and cons, and things we have to look at. Okay, so that's the main topic of today. A bit of history, how we came here, what we did, and we try to keep it short. So let's start with the beginning. I think in 2004 we went for a holiday with some friends, good friends in Aruba. And that's actually where we had a little taste of the Caribbean, because for us in Belgium, except the liquor Blue Curaçao, Curaçao was not known, is not known in general. So in 2006 we had the idea to come on holiday in January to Curaçao. We stayed 1 week, I think, in a hotel. Let me tell you that 1 week is not enough, because you have a long trip, 10 hours approximately with a plane, and time you're getting settled and all the stress from the trip, etc. It's short. So if you come to Curaçao, let's say 2 weeks would be ideal, 3 weeks is super, but not too short. Well, when we came here the first time, we just stayed at the hotel, and we rented a car for 1 day, because we were in an all-in hotel, and you know, you want to stay inside, you want to enjoy the money you paid for the trip and the accommodation, etc. But what we did on 1 day was actually a discovery tour, and for us it was a kind of click we had. So let me tell you first that Curaçao has 2 main reactions with people. You like or you don't like. Actually, don't think because it's an island, it's small. I never had the impression of being on a small surface. It's 60 kilometers long, so that's not that big, but don't think I need 6,000 kilometers. Curaçao is about 8,000 kilometers from Belgium, but here on our 60 kilometers platform, I would call it, we don't have that feeling of being bored. Why we actually like Curaçao is, of course, because of the weather. You can come nearly the whole year through. You have between, let's say, 30-35 degrees Celsius with a good wind. I would say from August till end of September, October, you probably have less wind, so it makes it a bit warmer. Especially when you come from colder countries like Europe or Canada also, the difference is quite big. We had people coming in December from Canada, and they had nearly a difference of 70 degrees Celsius, because it was freezing dead in Canada, so you can imagine the difference. So like I said, the feeling you have with Curaçao is very important. Also, the languages, you know, most of the people here speak Dutch and Papiamento. English is not an issue, and for the rest you have Spanish, you have a bit of a French, Haitian, and some local dialects from the neighborhood, from the neighbor highlands. But when we arrived, actually, we came here in January, like I said. We came back in end of April of the same year to rent an accommodation, a bungalow, having an own car for 2 weeks actually. Every day we drove, I think, something like 1,200 kilometers, so we discovered a lot of the island. So that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to live it the local way, so we went to local restaurants instead of touristic attractions and places where you pay a lot of money to eat not a lot of food actually, you know, so big plates with a small food on it. So that was not our purpose. And yes, we wanted to live it like it was done here. So that was our second impression of 4 months. Then in, I would say when we got back in Belgium from this second trip, we had the idea of something more, you know, something very personal. In Belgium we were actually a bit fed up, you know, that kind of life where you work nearly 6 days a week with some time schedules different. So you don't see each other a lot. You live actually together, but actually in parallel, but you don't do anything, because on Sunday you're lying in the sofa, you stand up late, you look television, you drink something, and then you go to sleep. So that was actually the life. Materially, no problem, but to come really satisfied out of your day, that was not the purpose. So the idea grew of coming to Curaçao, and in Curaçao, the second time we came, we had an opportunity to talk with people owning a resort with tennis courts and some accommodation and some aesthetical facilities. They were also in a growing phase, so they needed a kind of manager, and yeah, that was more my kind of stuff. So I volunteered for the job, and we had something like, okay, Pascal can, my wife, can do some aesthetical jobs because she studied for that kind of stuff. But then the idea grew to come back, and yeah, we were here back in September, October 2006. So that was the third part on the same year on Curaçao. And yeah, things didn't turn out like it had been planned. So we stayed there for 1 month, I think, and we didn't hear anything about the opportunities we had 3 months ago or 3 months before. Also, those people promised us to arrange our papers. You know, as a foreigner you need permits, etc. So that was all kind of settled, but nothing of that was true. So we had to change plans. So as I said already before, Curaçao gives you the impression you stay or you don't stay. So we had, of course, after 1 month, the impression of course we are here. We had our house in Belgium, we had our car, we could go and rejoin our jobs. So the chances were small for us, but we decided to stay. So we stayed here, we sold a house in Belgium, etc. And we started actually what we could do to earn a bit of money, because you were paying double your rent here and your house in Belgium. So I started actually with soccer academy, because I'm a soccer coach from Belgium, also with all the needed degrees and experience. But that was a way to start. And if you look on the internet, you can find it as Kuifje Soccer Academy Curaçao. It's a nice thing to look at. And yeah, that was actually the beginning. And we started with some stuff. You saw in other episodes the fish creations with the coconuts from Pascal. That's also something she started at that moment just to generate funds.